Hey fight fans, today in this video, we are going to discuss how former Bellator champion and former UFC lightweight title challenger Michael Chandler believes that Alexander Volkanovski can beat Islam Makhachev. Also in this video, reigning UFC featherweight champion Alexander Volkanovski, who will be facing off against Islam Makhachev in his next fight, is ready to compete, not only in the octagon, but also in the ability to trash talk and joke. Because Makhachev has demonstrated more than once that he possesses not only fighting skills of the highest level, but he also has an excellent sense of humor. So before the fight, with them joking around with each other, I think it's honestly better than throwing dirty words and insults. But people are always interested in the conflict between fighters, not just friendly jokes. So let's kick off the video. But before we launch into it, I want to ask you for your support with our channel with likes and subscriptions. We have very little left to reach 40,000 subs, so thank you in advance.
Raid Shadow Legends is what happens if you cross a blockbuster movie with a real AAA game and then squeezed it into a mobile phone while still retaining console quality graphics. It's genuinely revolutionary. And if that sell wasn't tantalizing enough, Raid has something extra special in the pipeline for their players. A legendary champion based on the former UFC bantamweight legend and WWE superstar Ronda Rousey. Ronda's backstory is just as formidable as you might expect too. As the lone daughter among 7 sons, the pressure was on Ronda from a young age to triumph as a fighter. And triumph she did, besting opponent after opponent in many tournaments before eventually becoming queen of the arena. Me, being an MMA fan, Ronda was my #1 choice as champion. Getting Ronda on your side could not be simpler. All you have to do is log in and play Raid for 7 days between now and February 20th. It doesn't matter if you're a new player or a seasoned veteran. To celebrate this fighting legend's arrival, you can also use the special promo code RAIDRONDA to get a bunch of helpful stuff, like a 3-day 100% XP boost, 500k silver, and 5 full energy refills. These perks will be the perfect way to level your Ronda up so she's at the top of her game. Just use the promo code RAIDRONDA and all these rewards will be yours. Also, if you have a subscription to Amazon Prime, you can avail of many more Raid rewards right now. And if you haven't started playing Raid yet, click my link in the description or scan my QR code here on the screen. You'll get unique bonuses worth $30. We're talking free Epic Champion Burgess, 200k silver, 1 energy refill, and 1 XP boost, and 1 ancient shard so you can summon awesome champions as soon as you get in game. All this treasure will be awaiting for you here, available for 30 days for new players only.
The reigning UFC featherweight champion Alexander Volkanovski is facing off against Islam Makhachev. He said, "Hey Islam, on your belt is my name and on my knee is your face," the Australian wrote on social media, posting a corresponding video. And to be honest, when I saw it, I laughed quite a bit. It was a great joke. And of course, harmless jokes are a lot better than dirty insults. But people always want to see the trash talk. Well, yes, a good joke, but then what? You need to give it a little fire before the fight just to sell the pay-per-views. Now, this is just my personal opinion, but what do you guys think about it? Do you agree? Let us know down in the comments below. Recently, in an interview with MMA Junkie, Chandler said, "I'm a huge Volkanovski fan. He's very, very good. Is he going to be smaller than Islam? Yes, very much so. I do think Volkanovski is going to do better than we all think he does. He used to weigh 210 pounds, 220 pounds, whatever he was when he was playing rugby. Your body remembers that. You carry just the hip strength of Islam, not being able to take him down. The one thing I see is that Volkanovski is a little bit shorter, so that leverage game, if Islam gets up underneath him, puts his head underneath his chin, he's gonna be able to lift him off the ground pretty easy. In the striking department, Volkanovski is better than him. I think in the speed and power department, Volkanovski is better than him. So anything outside of Islam, going out there and taking him down in the first minute of each round and holding him down, I think Volkanovski might actually squeak out a decision. Most likely not a finish, but a decision. Now, as I said before, referring to common sense, dry stats, and the language of facts, I strongly disagree with Chandler. Where does he say that Volkanovski is better than Islam in almost everything? Yet now, no one is going to argue that Volkanovski is one of the best fighters in the sport. But Makhachev is a completely different level. I was one of the first to doubt him, but the success that he has had, and in his coach and his best friend of Habib, he shut us all up. Remember, he's been training for a very long time under the legendary coach and father of Habib, Abdulmanap Nurmagomedov. So when he still did not look like a future champ, when he was facing, not very tough opponents and the fights weren't really all that spectacular, he has now had a rapid leap in the last 2 years, and he has begun to destroy fighters. He has already reached the level of wrestling, grappling, and finishing that the level of Habib had, and at the same time, he noticeably improved fighting in the standing position. Now, despite that fact, few people consider Islam a striker, but his striking skills are still at a very good level, and that showed in the fight with Charles Oliveira. Islam has incredibly good defense, including takedown defense, and most importantly, no one has yet been able to throw him in a tight submission. Not even the king of submissions himself, Charles Oliveira. So I think that is going to play a key role in the upcoming fight. Now, with all of Islam's advantages, not everyone understands it, he can be called into question due to the lack of fights with guys from the top of the division, except for Oliveira, of course. Now, if he does win this fight, Islam will only have Beneil Dariush remaining, who is still a mystery to him. And as for Alexander Volkanovski, he is already 33 years old, and the champion has a solid list of achievements, both in amateur and professional sports. During his performances in Australia, he won titles in 5 different local organizations. Moreover, he did it in various weight categories. In addition to the Rochambeau MMA League, Alex was a double champ. In addition to that, his assets are complemented by a brown belt in BJJ and a background in Greco-Roman wrestling. Now, this is one of those fighters who are able to go round after round. It is pretty amazing that Alex is able to work for those 25 minutes, and so far, no one has been able to beat that. It is hard to find an area in which Alex lags. He hits accurately, has knockout power, fights really well, and outperforms many featherweights in physical terms. But one of the main weapons that Volkanovski uses 100% is his low kicks. He hits them from long and medium range, very skillfully disabling the enemy's lower limbs. But in a battle with Islam, this probably isn't going to work, so we're going to be in for a big fight.
I'm sure Volkanovski can submit, but he hasn't really shown that. I haven't seen a submission from him. And then him on his back, and he's shorter. I mean, these there's a bunch of short Dagestanis in Russia that they're going to be able to mimic that. But it could also be a plus for Volkanovski too. But I think Volkanovski's pound for pound title is going to be short lived, and I think the wrath of Islam Makhachev is just a little too much. I mean, that's a really strong debut to go 155 pounds. If for some reason, Volk, you end up beating Islam for whatever reason, Jesus, that puts you as the greatest champ of all time. You would just have to defend it one time. You would just have to defend your belt one time after this fight, and you will be the best champ in UFC history.
So do you agree with my perceptions? Yes or no? Let us know down in the comments below. So that is all that we have for today, folks. If you liked the video, don't forget to help support our channel, because there, again, are very few left before we hit 40,000. And this is a whole army. So thank you all in advance, and have a great day.